Welcome back, guys, to another Brokowskis YouTube video. Today we got 4 must-start players. These are sleeper starters or just players that we think are great starts. Before we get into it, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. We're going to try for 100 likes. If we can hit that, that would be awesome.
Boys, the first player that you should be starting in all your leagues is Antonio Gibson. You drafted this guy high. He's been a disappointment, but I think this week is the time he really shines. This guy is super touchdown dependent. He only really has good games when he scores touchdowns. Like last week, he had a season high in yards. He had 19 attempts, 95 yards, but he only put up 7.5 fantasy points because he wasn't getting those catches. He also fumbled the ball, but it's encouraging. He rushed for 95 yards against that really good Carolina Panthers defense, and now he's going against Seattle, who has a terrible run defense. I think Antonio Gibson will absolutely cook this week. Seattle's ranked 31st against running backs in fantasy football. Last week, again, like I said, Antonio Gibson had 95 yards. He averaged 5 yards per carry, which is really encouraging. And also over the past 2 games, Gibson has averaged over 21 carries per game. So Gibson's getting that volume. He's still not getting that work in the receiving game. But I think if Gibson gets in the end zone, he'll have a great week for your fantasy team.
Our next must-start of the week is Cam Newton. Cam Newton had an awesome week last week against Washington. He had 3 total touchdowns, 2 passing, 1 running, 10 rushing attempts, so that rushing upside is always there. 0 turnovers. It was a great game for Cam. Plus, he heads to Miami this week to verse the 28th ranked Dolphins against quarterbacks. Amazing matchup. You're obviously not starting him over the elite quarterbacks like Patty Mahomes, Herbert, but he does have that awesome upside if you're streaming quarterbacks or if you're in a little bit of a pickle, like if you need to choose between him or you drafted Ryan Tannehill early. Cam Newton's a great option this week. Love the play.
Our third must-start sleeper of the week is Brandin Cooks. We had Brandin Cooks on this list last week, and he disappointed us hard. Only 2 catches, only 3 targets, and only 3.8 PPR fantasy points. But I think this week is where he changes it all around. Last week, the Texans ran the ball a lot. Tyrod Taylor only threw the ball 24 times. Brandin Cooks only got 3 of those targets. It was not a passing game. It was a weird situation where the Texans were actually up almost the whole game against the Titans, so they ran the ball a good amount of the time. This week they're versing the Jets, who are really bad against the run, but they also are very bad against the pass. 32nd against the run, 19th against the pass, and the Texans don't really have a great run game. They have old David Johnson. They have like Rex Burkhead. They released Phillip Lindsay. This run game is not going to be absolutely running over the Jets, so I think Tyrod's going to have to do a good amount of passing, and that's where Brandin Cooks comes in. He's the clear wide receiver 1 in this offense. Take out last week against the Titans. In the 3 games Cooks has played with Tyrod Taylor, he's averaging over 17 PPR fantasy points per game, over 11 targets a game. He's going to put it together this week against the Jets, and he has to be in your starting lineup.
Our 4th must-start of the week is Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman's probably still in a lot of your starting lineups, but there are going to be some people worried with that terrible game against Buffalo where he only got 4 points. But he is versing Tampa Bay this week, who is a good team, and Michael Pittman plays way better against good teams. Teams that are under 500 in record, he's only averaging 10.62 points, but teams that are 500 or better, that shoots up all the way to 18.3 points per game, over 9 targets a game. And if you take out the game against Buffalo, that goes all the way up to 21.12 points a game with 10 targets a game. He is a much different player against good teams where they have to pass the ball. Last week, Jonathan Taylor ran wild. They barely had to throw it, but this week they should have to throw it a lot more. The Buccaneers are a great team, plus their run defense is really good. They should not shut down Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor is still going to do awesome, but they're going to have to do more passing than running this week. The Buccaneers are also only 15th against receivers, so it's not a terrible matchup in that regard. We think Carson Wentz is going to have to throw a lot more this week. Expect Pittman to get a lot more usage. We think Pittman's a great play.
Boys, thanks so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe. Every week we're telling you 4 starts and 4 sits to optimize your lineup. Also comment this keyword right here and we'll like and reply to your comment. Boys, also like the video if you want to. It'll really help us out. And thanks so much, boys, for watching. See y'all later.